Ever feel like your brain is just stuck on overdrive? Like a constant stream of what-ifs and worries just won't quit,
Oh, yeah, that feeling of anxiety. It can be so overwhelming.
for sure. But you know what? I've heard journaling can actually help put the brakes on those runaway thoughts.
It can be a really powerful tool, like having a safe space to unpack all that mental clutter.
Exactly.
hmm
And we're going to deep dive into all that today. See how journaling can help us deal with anxiety.
We'll explore the science behind it, some practical techniques, and even look at how some features of these Lestallion journals can really enhance the whole experience.
Like I've been hearing about Lestallion journals everywhere lately. They're specifically designed for anxiety relief,
Oh,
right?
you're right.
I'm curious to see what makes them so special.
Well, for one thing, they're known for their really high-quality materials.
Like the thick paper I keep hearing about.
Yes. They use this amazing 120 GSM paper, which means no bleed through.
Okay, that's a must-have for me. I like using different pens and sometimes even watercolors in my journal, so good paper is key.
Absolutely. And it also makes the journal super durable, so it can really stand up to all the wear and tear of daily use.
Kind of like a trusted companion for your mental health journey.
Exactly.
I love that. And, speaking of science, is there actually any research to back up these claims that journaling can help with anxiety?
Oh, definitely. There have been tons of studies
Sure.
showing that journaling can help reduce stress, improve your overall mood, and even promote relaxation.
Wow, so it's not just some fluffy feel-good practice. It's actually evidence-based.
Absolutely. And it makes sense when you think about it. The act of putting your thoughts and feelings into words actually helps you process them more effectively.
That makes sense. It's kind of like when I talk things out with a friend. Just the act of saying those words out loud
Yeah,
sometimes takes away some of their power.
exactly. And it's the same principle of journaling. You're giving your thoughts and feelings a voice, but in a safe and private space.
So it's not just about venting. There's actually a deeper level of processing going on.
Totally. Journaling helps you shine a light on those shadowy corners of your mind. It's about understanding the root of your anxiety, not just the symptoms.
It can help you identify patterns in your thinking, recognize triggers that set off your anxiety, and even challenge those negative thought spirals that can keep you feeling stuck.
Exactly.
And that's so key. My sister actually told me this amazing story about how journaling helped her through a really tough time. She was going through a divorce, and her anxiety was just through the roof. She said writing in her journal every night before bed became her lifeline.
It's so common for people to turn to journaling during times of intense stress or change. It provides a safe space to process all those difficult emotions.
And she said the Lestallion journal she was using really made a difference.
Oh, I can see why. Lestallion journals are known for their really nice soft covers. It adds a tactile element that can be really grounding, especially when you're feeling anxious.
That makes sense. It's almost like a comforting ritual. And my sister actually said the same thing. She loved the feel of the cover and how sturdy the journal felt. It made the whole process feel more intentional.
It's like you're creating something tangible, something valuable. It's not just scribbling on a scrap of paper.
Right. But beyond the feel-good aspect, I'm guessing those features can actually have practical benefits when it comes to managing anxiety, right?
Oh, definitely. For example, that thick paper we talked about. It allows you to use different mediums in your journal without worrying about bleed through.
Oh, like watercolors or even collage.
Exactly. You can experiment with all sorts of creative outlets as a way of processing your anxiety. It's like another language for emotions.
I love that.
And Lestallion offers a variety of page layouts, lined pages, blank pages, even dotted pages.
So you can really tailor the journal to your needs and preferences.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for you. And the fact that the journals are designed to lay flat is a huge bonus, especially if you're using them for drawing or working on larger visual spreads.
You know what? I actually hadn't even considered that, but it makes total sense. Having the pages lay flat would definitely make the journaling experience more enjoyable.
It's all about creating a seamless and inviting experience.
So we've talked about the science behind journaling for anxiety and how the features of a journal like Lestallion can really enhance the experience. But what about the actual content? What are some specific techniques or approaches that can be particularly helpful?
Well, one really effective technique is something we touched on earlier, identifying those triggers that set off your anxiety.
Okay, tell me more.
And a Lestallion journal is perfect for this because of the different page layouts.
Interesting. How does the layout come into play here?
Well, let's say you're using the dotted pages. You could create a mood tracker, where you visually represent your anxiety levels throughout the day.
Oh, I love that. Like turning your journal into a detective's notebook.
Exactly. You're gathering clues to crack the case of your anxiety. And once you've identified those triggers, you can start to develop strategies for managing them.
And that's where the other page layouts come in.
Right. You can use the lined pages to brainstorm coping mechanisms, write down affirmations, or even create a list of activities that help you feel calm and grounded.
So it's like a personalized toolkit for managing anxiety.
Exactly. And you can constantly add to that toolkit as you learn more about yourself and your anxiety. It becomes a living document of your journey towards greater peace and well-being. And, another really powerful tool for managing anxiety. It's something we talked about a little bit earlier.
Hmm. Let me think. Oh, are you talking about gratitude journaling?
Exactly. Gratitude journaling can be so helpful.
Okay, I've tried it before, but sometimes it feels a little forced,
Mm.
especially when I'm in the middle of like a full-blown anxiety spiral.
Oh, I totally get that. It can feel a bit strange at first, like trying to
Yeah.
find things to be grateful for when everything feels like it's falling apart.
Exactly. Like, oh yeah, universe, I'm so grateful for this delicious cup of coffee while my brain is convinced the world is ending, you know.
I hear you, but that's actually where the power of gratitude journaling really shines.
Really?
It's not about denying or dismissing those negative feelings. It's more about intentionally shifting your focus, even if it's just for a few
So it's
moments.
like hitting a mental reset button.
That's a great way to put it. And the best part is it doesn't have to be about huge things. You don't need to make big changes. It's more about finding those small glimmers of positivity, those little things that are still good even when everything else feels chaotic.
Hmm. I see what you mean. I guess it's kind of like training your brain to look for the good even when things are tough.
Exactly. And you know what else can be really helpful?
What's that?
Those Lestallion journals we talked about. They can be amazing for gratitude journaling.
Really? I'm curious. How so?
Well, they have all those blank pages, right? You can use those as a blank canvas for your gratitude practice.
Oh, I see. It's not just about listing things you're grateful for in a rigid way.
Right, you can get creative with it. Like maybe try writing a gratitude letter to someone who's had a positive impact on your life.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Or you could even just sketch something, like something that represents a moment of joy or peace you experienced.
Hmm. That takes the pressure off of having to come up with super profound statements, doesn't it?
Definitely. And remember, the thick paper is perfect for experimenting with different art supplies, so you can really let your creativity flow.
My friend Sarah, she swears by gratitude journaling. She used to be a total worrywart, always anticipating the worst. But then she started using a Lestallion journal every day for gratitude.
Oh, wow.
And she says it completely changed her perspective. She started noticing the good things more, and her anxiety naturally decreased.
That's incredible. But, it's not just anecdotal evidence. There's actually a lot of research to support the benefits of gratitude journaling.
Really?
Studies have shown it can lead to increased happiness, better sleep, and even reduced symptoms of anxiety and depression.
Wow, that's impressive. So it's actually rewiring our brains for the better, not just making us feel good in the moment.
It is. And those Lestallion journals? They have a built-in ribbon bookmark.
Yeah.
You can use it to mark your gratitude entries.
Oh, that's handy. So you can easily flip back to those pages whenever you need a little reminder of all the good stuff.
Exactly. It's like having a little pocket of sunshine you can carry with you.
Oh, I love that. But, a lot of people prefer digital journaling these days. Is there a digital version of the Lestallion experience?
Well, there's nothing quite like the tactile experience of pen and paper, is there?
Sure.
But there are some really great apps out there that offer similar features. Like some let you add photos or drawings to your entries, even audio recording.
Oh, that's cool. Multimedia journal?
Exactly. And many apps offer guided prompts and challenges to help you get started and stay consistent.
I think those prompts can be so helpful. Sometimes I just need a little push to get those words flowing.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to try different journaling techniques. Like some people really like stream of consciousness writing.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Just letting your thoughts pour onto the page without any censoring or editing.
That sounds really freeing.
It can be. It's a great way to just release all those pent-up emotions and see what comes up.
You know what? I remember trying that stream of consciousness technique in my Lestallion journal a while back. I was going through a really stressful time at work.
And how did it go?
It was amazing. I just wrote and wrote for like 20 minutes straight. No worrying about making it sound good or anything.
And how did you feel afterwards?
It was like all that mental clutter just poured out of me. I felt so much lighter, like
Yeah.
I'd done a mental detox.
It's incredible how therapeutic that can be, just giving yourself permission to express those raw, unfiltered thoughts.
It really is. And speaking of therapy, I've heard that journaling can be a really useful addition to traditional therapy.
Oh, absolutely. It can help you process things you've talked about in therapy sessions, and it can give your therapist valuable insights into your thoughts and
It's
feelings.
like having a 24/7 support system.
Exactly. And it can be especially helpful for people who have trouble expressing themselves verbally.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to write things down than to say them out loud.
Absolutely. Writing allows you to slow down, reflect, and really choose your words carefully. And with a Lestallion journal, you have that beautiful, high-quality paper. Makes the whole experience even more enjoyable.
It's like those little details are whispering, take your time, you're worth it.
Exactly. It's all about creating an environment that feels safe, supportive, and conducive to self-expression.
And speaking of self-expression, I've also found visualization to be a really helpful technique for managing anxiety.
Visualization. That's such a powerful tool.
It is, and again, the Lestallion journals are great for this. You can use those blank pages or dotted pages to create visual representations of your goals, or even just a peaceful scene that brings you comfort.
It's like creating a little mental escape hatch.
Right. You can transport yourself to that place of calm, even when things feel really stressful.
Yeah.
And the act of drawing or sketching can be so therapeutic too.
A lot of people find doodling to be incredibly calming.
It's true. I actually have a funny story about that. My uncle, who is like the most stoic, manly man you can imagine, started doodling in a Lestallion journal I gave him for his birthday.
Really?
Yeah, I was totally surprised. But he told me it helps him relax and clear his head.
That's awesome. It just goes to show that journaling and creative expression can be beneficial for everyone, no matter who you are.
So true. So if you're feeling a little hesitant to try journaling, don't be. It's not about being a great writer or having profound things to say. It's about having an honest conversation with yourself.
And remember, no one else has to see it. It's your private space. And a Lestallion journal can be a really beautiful and safe place to keep those thoughts and feelings.
Exactly. And there are so many different ways to journal. So experiment and see what works for you.
Find your own unique journaling voice.
Because at the end of the day, it's a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely. It's something you can keep exploring as you grow and change.
So if anxiety is weighing you down, remember that journaling can be a really powerful tool for finding relief and building resilience.
And hey, if you're looking for a journal that can inspire and support you along the way, well, we might just have a suggestion.
A Lestallion journal might just be the perfect companion for your mental health journey.
You never know, you might even discover hidden depths of creativity and self-awareness along the way.
It's funny, as we're talking about all these journaling techniques, like Lestallion journals were made for this.
Yeah, it's like they really get it. They understand what people who are dealing with anxiety need in a journal.
Totally. Like we've talked about the thick paper, the different page layouts, the way the journal lays flat, all those little things really add up to make a huge difference in the experience.
And don't forget about that gorgeous cover, that soft faux leather. It's not just about looking pretty, it actually feels really nice to hold. And that can be super soothing when your anxiety is making you feel all on edge.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. There's something about a nice looking journal that makes me actually want to use it.
It's like you're treating yourself to a little self-care ritual.
Exactly. It doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like something special. You know what I mean?
Oh, I completely understand. It's like you're saying, hey, my thoughts and feelings are important enough to deserve this beautiful journal.
I remember when I first started taking journaling seriously, I was just using this old, beat-up notebook I had lying around. It wasn't anything fancy.
And did that affect your experience?
It kind of did. It felt almost like I wasn't valuing my own thoughts and feelings, like
Mhm.
they weren't worth more than that crummy notebook.
It's amazing how the things we surround ourselves with can have such a big impact on our mindset.
It's true. Then I finally decided to invest in a Lestallion journal, and it honestly felt like a total game changer.
What changed for you?
Just everything. The quality of the paper, the way the journal felt in my hands, it was like night and day. It felt so much more intentional, like I was really taking care of myself.
It's those subtle shifts in perspective that can make all the difference, aren't they?
They really do. And the Lestallion journals have all these little details that just add to that feeling, like that ribbon bookmark.
Mm.
It seems like a small thing, but it makes it so easy to pick up right where you left off.
It's all about those little touches that make the experience feel smooth and enjoyable.
Exactly. Because when you're dealing with anxiety, even small obstacles can feel really daunting.
That's so true. It's like you don't want anything getting in the way of that self-care flow.
Right. But, I think some people might be intimidated by the idea of journaling in general. Like they think they're not good writers or they don't have anything interesting to say.
Oh, I hear that all the time. But you know what? Journaling isn't about being a great writer or having profound thoughts. It's really just about having a conversation with yourself.
And no one else has to read it, right? It's your own private space.
Exactly. It's a judgment-free zone. And with the Lestallion journal, it's like you have this beautiful, safe container for those thoughts and feelings.
And the different page layouts make it so you can express yourself in whatever way feels right, whether it's writing, drawing, making lists, whatever works for you.
It's all about finding your own unique style and voice.
Exactly. And the best part is that journaling isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing journey.
That's a great way to put it. It's something you can keep coming back to, and it can evolve as you do.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed by anxiety, remember that journaling can be a really powerful tool. It can help you find relief, process your emotions, and build resilience.
And if you're looking for a journal that can inspire and support you along the way, well, we might have a little recommendation for you.
A Lestallion journal could be the perfect companion for your mental health journey.
Who knows? You might even discover hidden depths of creativity and self-awareness along the way.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of journaling for anxiety relief. We hope you found it helpful and encouraging.
Until next time, take care of yourselves and remember to listen to your inner voice. Whether it's speaking or writing, it has so much to offer.